Ladies and gentlemen, entrepreneurs from all over the world, please make welcome the truth guy, Mr. Home-Based Business himself. The man of the hour, everyone's favorite, Kerry Miller.
And I hope everybody's having an absolute wonderful Saturday morning. Been off a couple of days here, got a little sick, and just trying to get myself back into to shape here and get everything going back again. But that's okay. You know, you can't keep a good man down. That's what I always say. And it's always a pleasure to be here with you, no matter what day it is. So I wanted to come live this morning. I was flipping through some Facebook pages and posts and so forth, and I'm always amazed at some of the readings that I see, and what prompted this was I actually saw somebody say, hey, if you want to make $1 million, or hey y'all future millionaires, if you had $10,000, what would you invest it in? And immediately, the person started, well, I'll invest 2,000 here in this stock and 2,000 in that stock, and I'm not a big stock market guy. I don't mind volatility. I've invested in the markets. I don't currently hold any stocks, so let me just be very transparent about that. I have invested in the past. I've liquidated all stocks for a few different reasons, but I really invest in myself now, because that's what's really important is myself. And, depending, it's like I was talking to somebody just not too long ago. If you're 25 years old and you're investing, that's one thing. If you're 65 years old and you got somebody telling you to put all your money into a long-term fund, I think it's the dumbest crap I've ever heard in my life, but anyway, so let's talk about what I want to talk about. And how do you get rich? How do you become a millionaire? And how do you make that kind of money? And I wrote some numbers down. To be a millionaire, you have to make $2,739.72 a day. To make $100,000 a year, you have to make $273.97 a day. So let's focus here for a moment. First off, you have to have a plan. Without a plan, you're not going to get anywhere. And I don't care what you do or how you do it, you have to have a plan. I mean, think about this for just one moment. You're going to take a vacation, and you start planning this months before the vacation starts, right? You start putting this together, and you start planning, and you start saving, and you put your money in the best prices. You make sure you get your airline tickets early so you get the best prices. You make sure you book your hotel in advance using special sites online to save money, like Priceline or things like that. You do everything you possibly can to make sure that vacation goes off without a hitch. Why don't you do the same thing with your business or with whatever you're doing to make extra money? I just have never understood people's philosophy. Excuse me. They put more effort into a dinner for one night than they do their entire lives for the rest of their lives. I mean, you'll plan for a month or 2 months or 3 months for Valentine's Day, but you won't plan for, a year or 2 years or 3 years and methodically focus on a plan to get your financial life where you need to be. So the first thing you have to do, without question, is you have to be focused. Making $1 million isn't hard. It's probably one of the easiest things you've ever done. I mean, think about it right now. If you're making $50,000 a year, and I pulled up some stats here. Let me pull up these stats. And it was really mind-boggling because I never think about this, really. The average household income is about $25,000 to $50,000. That's the household income. That means everybody in that household contributing to the income of that home. So a husband, a wife, maybe a grandparent, everybody in that home that contributes. And the reason they know that is because that's how we file our taxes, right? We file our taxes as individuals, and or we file our taxes as a household. So they know what a household income is. And that's 2 people, sometimes 3 people with a household income of $50,000. That's not a lot of money. That's not a lot of money at all. And so if you want to make $1 million, then you got to figure out ways to multiply that. Now, for me, the best way in the world to ever make money is through recurring income programs, developing and building recurring income programs. That's the only way you're going to increase your revenues to a place where you're making that kind of money. Yeah, you can invest in the stock markets. I'm not telling you not to. I don't. You can invest in the stock markets and you can make money in the stock markets. That's why brokers are in business. People do it all the time. Warren Buffett makes all his money in the stock markets. He's also very diversified in other things and businesses and that kind of stuff. Bill Gates is diversified in many, many different things. Of course, a lot of his money came from Microsoft and stock options. So there is money to be made, but I'm telling you, that is a long-term, extremely long-term plan. Now, if you want to make money and you want to make money today and you want to start making money and you want to start building that money, you have to look at recurring income programs. I was just watching the news right before this show, and I was watching a restaurant owner. I grew up in the restaurant business with my father. My father was a restaurant owner. I started working for my dad when I was 7 years old, washing dishes. I've told this story many, many times. And I was getting paid just like everybody else. And I became a cook, and then I started waiting tables. I loved waiting tables because I controlled my income at that point. When I was waiting tables, I controlled my tips by how I treated the people, how great my customer service was. I learned at a very young age about customer service. The better customer service, the more money you're going to make. So I learned real quick that, hey, washing dishes, I made X amount. Cooking, I made X amount. But the money came in from what? From selling that service to those customers, and they would pay me for that. See, not only did I make a paycheck for working at my dad's restaurant, but I made tips from working. And that all came from what? Salesmanship, giving exceptional service. So I went from making a few dollars washing dishes, and I tripled my income by giving great service. So there are ways to increase your income. There are ways to build your business. There are ways to do the things that you want to do, but you have to be extremely focused. You have to be extremely disciplined. I see people all the time, get excited. Oh man, I would love to own a franchise. I'd love to own a McDonald's. Let me tell you, that is, number one, it's tough work. Number two, the returns are very, very small. You have to work very long time. The people that are making a lot of money in McDonald's has a lot of money to invest in McDonald's and multiple franchises. The same with Starbucks, the same with any franchise. To think you're going to make money on one franchise, you're not going to make any money. You're going to make a very small salary, putting in hundreds of hours of work for a 5% return. I mean, the margins in food is so small, and you have to really watch your margins. You'd be amazed at the number of restaurant owners that don't even know what their margins is, that don't even know what it costs to build a hamburger or a chicken fried steak plate or 2 eggs and bacon. So you have to be extremely disciplined in anything you do, whether it be own a restaurant because the margins are small, or building a recurring income program, and so that you make money every single day for what you do today. And to me, that is the absolute best way to make money. That's to me, the only way to make money. And you have to be extremely focused, laser focused. You have to be willing to put in the time. If you're used to working a 9-to-5 job and that's all you're ever going to do, you're probably not going to make $1 million. Sorry. It's just the way it is. Why? Because you don't have the focus to go outside of that box. You may start making $100,000 a year in your job, but what do? We have what's called a lifestyle. We're making $100,000. We're spending $90,000, so we have $10,000 left over. We take a $5,000 vacation. We got $5,000 left over, and we usually blow that. So that's just the way it goes. I mean, we live by what we do. We live by what we make. And you can't do that. You have to put back so much, 15%, 20% of your income. You have to make sure you're investing that in things that bring back money in order to do that. So make sure, without question, that you do that. Make sure, without question, that you create the income that you want to make. $2,739 a day is what you need to make if you want to make $1 million a year. Now you need to make about 2.3 million in order to what? Net out $1 million. So focus on where you can go. Put a plan together. Do the things that you know you can do. And the worst thing you can do is set your goals way too high. Set a goal and then set many goals to get there. All right. Set those goal lines. Make sure that you can work each and every day to get to where you want to go, to do the things you want to do, and work up to that big goal. You know, I've got a whiteboard just right over here. Write that number on your whiteboard. Okay, this is what I want to make $1 million. What do I have to do to get to $2,739 a day? If you got 27, if you have a product that sells for $27, sell 100 of them every single day. You know, if you have a product that sells for $279, sell 10 of them every single day, 365 days a year. And that'll get you where you want to go. So I want you to think about what I'm saying. Break it down into very small goals. Break it down into daily goals. Break those down into hourly goals. Stay extremely focused. Keep the $1 million mindset. I love that. I have a $1 million mindset. That's why I'm worth $1 million. You know, I have that mindset. So whatever your mindset is, stay focused, be disciplined, and get yourself where you want to go. You want to make $1 million? I can teach you in 10 minutes how to make $1 million. That quick. It's whether or not you have the will and desire and the mindset and the discipline to do that. Everybody have an absolute great Saturday. Love you much. Take care. And I will see you when? On our next live. Hey, this is my good buddy, Frankie. We lost him in August due to COVID. I always like to sign out with Frankie, and I will always sign out with Frankie. Everybody have a great weekend, and God bless.